but it isn't just from her beauty. It was something in the action she was doing
Yeah.
that made me fall in love with her.
Yeah.
You know
And it
what I
was
mean?
like bam.
Just,
Man.
just like that. Her accent. You by
Okay.
yourself and you self-destruct,
Yeah.
then we got some underlying
Yeah.
issues.
Is that you're saying?
And thinking that masculinity is aggressiveness,
Right.
and that's not what that's just one of the tools we're
Yeah.
able to use.
Yeah.
That is destruction waiting to happen on both sides. And someone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gonna cause resentment.
Chocolate Cowboy, we're chopping it up today. We got a special guest, my man Rance. I'm not sure how he wants to introduce himself, but I'll give him a second in a moment. But we're gonna get into some hot topics real quick and early. Whew, y'all stay tuned, pay attention. Here we go. You introduce yourself to the folks and kind of give them an idea of who you are and what you do for a living.
My name is Terrence Watkins, but I go by Rance the Savior. I own two businesses, both in construction, which the first one is Zoner Enterprise, and my second business is called The Wall Father.
Okay.
And we do decorative wall finishes.
You said the Wall Father?
The Wall Father.
Okay, you say decorative wall finishes.
Yes.
Interior, exterior, commercial?
We could do both, but it's mainly interior, and
Okay.
we do residential and commercial.
But right now, we're going to jump into his brain a little bit and see what he thinks about some of these topics. All right. So I got a couple questions that I've been thinking about and have been posed to me. And I'm just passing them to you and see what you think about it and see if we can inform the folks. We don't know everything, but we are trying to share information with folks to build a strong community. So y'all bear with us. All right, first question. Can you, in your own terms, can you try to define emotional intelligence? And I ask because I think it's overused, misused, etc. And so I just want to be as accurate as possible on how you meant it.
I feel like for one who can get to that type of level of emotional intelligence, a human being is, you literally have to open up the door to your traumas.
Vulnerability.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really open them up, and obviously forgive that person, but at the same time, you need to look at yourself. This is about you.
Yeah.
And take blame and own it.
Accountability.
Accountability. On top of, accountability, that comes with emotional intelligence, wanted to break down those reasons.
Okay.
Yeah, someone might have did something and you clap back, but at the end of the day, once it was done, even if you thought it was justifiable, you didn't like the way you felt when you did that.
So integrity comes into play.
Integrity comes into that as well.
Okay. So it sounds like a great combination of ingredients here for a mature adult to engage with whatever the hell they're doing. If they have some integrity, if they have that accountability. Right?
Correct.
They also have some self-awareness, I think you're saying, in all of this as well.
Self-awareness. And with women that I have found, even men with emotional intelligence, they have a strong sense of boundaries.
Okay.
Not for others, but for themselves.
And is this kind of how you establish boundaries for oneself, by kind of having these ingredients we were just talking about, like accountability and self-awareness? Is this how one might create a boundary for themselves?
Yes, I feel like that's how you create a strong confidence of self-love.
Okay. That's a big one going around right now too. Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Everybody needs that. Men need that.
Yeah. I think, going and getting your hair done and doing that, I mean, that's just, I don't really call that like a true self-love, because
why not?
Because who just wants to be loved just for a little bit? You want to be loved for a long time.
So if it's not substantial or long-lasting, you don't want it.
No, you're only gonna love yourself for a little bit. Once you go get them shoes, go get your nails done, or get your beard cut.
Temporary.
Yes. Okay. Everyone looking for that instant gratification, that instant love. You know what I mean? And
I have a question about that, if you don't mind. Is love instant?
No. True love, in my opinion, is not instant.
Okay, so the phrase "love at first sight"
and it
implies that love can be instant. Is it? Do you believe in love at first sight? No, did you?
Do I believe in love at first sight?
Yeah.
I can say I love her.
Okay.
That fire is there.
Okay.
The fire is there so I could turn it into true love. Because there's going to be aches and pains and heartaches and trials and tribulations.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But the part of me loving her, you know what I mean, is bases off from the true love, but from the love at first sight. But it ain't just from her beauty. It was something in the action she was doing.
Yeah. That
made me fall in love with her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was like bam.
Just like that. Her acts of kindness, you know.
Yeah.
How a bad situation and how she held herself.
Yes.
It's like, okay, she can handle me. I love her. You know?
You just know.
I mean, Ojawai, I know because I know myself. You know.
First of all.
You know.
Yes.
You know, and first off, it's not I know myself from what I bring to the table. It's what's under the table.
What's under the table.
Those flaws.
All right, so that leads me to my next question.
Okay.
I appreciate your cooperation, sir. Thank you. So my next question is, this is kind of a meta question. So I'm talking about a conversation, okay? And the conversation that I'm talking about that's being had right now is, what do you bring to the table? I don't like the question. In fact, we're not even posing that question here. I'm only mentioning the conversation about it and trying to have an analysis with you about it, okay? So, what do you bring to the table? I don't like it because it implies that folks are expected to come bringing something to me. And my definition or understanding of love is that it is a unconditional phenomenon. Unexplainable. It's not scientific, right? We don't fully understand it, and that's part of the beauty of it.
It's most definitely
right?
Unconditional.
I think love does not, to be more specific to the point, love does not expect, period. And so when folks come to a potential relationship with one that they're hoping to exchange love with, and there are expectations, to me it seems to kind of nullify or cancel itself out. The expectation that one has when they love, I think, is for naught. If I give and I pour into, it's almost like the love for a child, right? There's no expectation back for the parent to continue to love or to love in the first place. I'm glad you said a kid.
I was going to say a dog.
Okay, dog. Hey,
you know,
dog too. And Chris Rock is famous for saying only dogs and children get unconditional love. Men are only loved on the condition that we are able to offer something. And
I agree with that, and I agree a little bit to what they say, to a degree.
How so?
Because us as men are supposed to be providers and protectors. Okay.
I'm only putting that in air quotes because it seems to be a blurred line now.
It is a blurred line, and the reason why I say that is like I said, I'm on the construction site.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about just protect. Okay.
I've been on them sides with you.
Right now, we're talking about protect on a physical aspect.
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would take in certain jobs in construction, it would take more women than a man to do that job. Why? Because of how we are built with muscle and testosterone.
Okay.
Not saying they don't have that dog in them, but that's what men are bred to do. We're warriors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So I kind of agree on that. However, I disagree because then all we are is like a light on a Christmas tree.
A light on a Christmas tree.
There's plenty of lights on Christmas trees. The point I'm making here is that if that's how we look, then to these certain women, all men are basically the same.
Interchangeable.
Yeah, and that's not how it goes. Why?
Damn.
Because at deep down we come back to this thing called love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And love to me is the feeling I feel for someone that isn't love. You just give you that feeling,
Right.
you know. And there's this notion, like you explained, on the word love getting thrown out there.
Yeah.
Once the feeling's gone, they think that that's a feeling, and it's gone. But the reason why it happens that way is they have a lack of self-love.
Damn. So you are connecting their self-love to the love that they're able to offer or lose in a relationship, in an intimate love.
Yeah, you're not healthy with yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not healthy with with yourself. You know.
Yeah, that's tough.
You know, it's like I explained to you. We were talking earlier, and you know, people say, you don't see me, you don't hear me. But if something following 24/7, 365 and get in their mind, you probably can see that they truly don't see or hear themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but you're asking for somebody else to do that.
Yeah.
You know, that is destruction waiting to happen on both sides. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's gonna cause resentment.
Because the
Resentment for the
expectation
man,
can never be met.
a resentment from the woman to the man, then it's a resentment in the relationship.
Yeah. And then it breaks.
Even with the greatest communication skills, that still can be unhealthy.
That brings me to my next question.
Okay. Yeah, I keep running into these damn things.
So my next question would be, regarding expectations. Are there too troublesome expectations when dating?
100%.
Oh.
100%.
Versus 50-50?
Or if I brought 95,
That's not even.
there's gonna be problems with the 5% I didn't do.
Okay.
Yeah, I know little things matter.
Yeah.
I know the little things matter. However, when you look at it just off me or someone not doing those little things,
Yeah.
it's so micro.
That's
And
true.
you forget to look at the macro, like the 95%, you know.
Yeah.
Whoever is 100%. Whoever is ever 100%. People are not even 100% for themselves.
That's true. That's all day true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
the expectation being that somebody else is going to offer 100% to you.
Yes, the expectation, and to me, my opinion, that comes from past experiences, trauma that they did not heal from.
Okay.
So they bring these expectations. Now, there's a difference between expectations and boundaries.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Do you think that maybe some of us are miscommunicating boundaries and saying expectations?
Yeah.
Or understanding it?
Yeah, unless someone is expecting the man to be some certain way, well, you're gonna see that from the jump street.
Yeah.
Just like women.
Yeah.
Men are gonna see that, or they're not asking the right questions. They're so caught up in the feeling, or so caught up in the physical intimate,
Okay.
that they forget to ask these type of questions.
Right.
So they're already setting themselves up and doing and the person they're talking to a disservice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely agree.
You know, are we just dating? Like there's no substance. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You know, if for me, if I'm gonna date, I'm gonna date to marry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same.
And I think at that, a lot of those extra things will go out the window. For instance, you say what you bring to the table. I don't like that term. I don't even like saying it. I don't even like saying this is what I bring to the table. You know what I mean? Right. I'm already on the bad end of the stick, right?
Yeah, I feel that.
However, if you take sex, put it in the box, kick that shit out the door.
What you got left?
Now, what do you bring to the table?
So another consideration.
You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there,
And then what? Now what?
You supportive?
Yeah.
On both sides. You know? Does the man understand his mission and his assignment as a man? Doesn't have to even be about that particular woman.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Where have you checked your masculine core? can't really, as a man, can't check your masculine core unless you have the deep self-reflection for emotional intelligence.
Circle it right back, yes sir.
Just like the same for feminine energy. Women have that, however, they need to do the same thing as a man. You know, we're just human beings.
Yeah.
Women's being feminine will not be as feminine when they have a masculine man who thinks he's being masculine, but he's being feminine. Okay. So he's actually, in my opinion, stroking the masculine string on the woman.
So he's being passive aggressive, perhaps? Or he's not being masculine, at least, you're saying?
At least.
And at default, the balance of nature is going to require one of them.
In the life we're living right now, you know what I mean, with the masculinity and red flags, and I can't be feminine because you are acting this way, right?
Yeah.
I could somewhat see that, but at the end of the day, it's no, you're just not feminine at all. You know?
You don't think you can turn femininity on and off? And can you do the same with masculinity?
To be honest with you, I don't think there's no someone that's masculine should have anything that's feminine. Just because you're vulnerable doesn't mean you're feminine.
Okay.
See what I mean? You could have a woman that's, you know, they say it, oh, I'm being masculine. No, you're being aggressive. You can't be. There is no masculinity without testosterone and those other,
and the ability to enforce.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you're just being. You're being aggressive. Point being that their masculinity, they're at a 10, matching your energy.
Okay.
And you're right at a level 2.
On your masculine.
On your scale. Masculinity, and then probably another man, that still would be a level 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But since you're dealing with your female counterpart, it's perceived as masculinity, period, and she's trying to match that, you're saying?
And thinking that masculinity is aggressiveness.
Right.
And that's not that's just one of the tools we're able to use.
Yeah.
You know, just like women are able to nurture in their multipliers.
Right. A great tool.
Wonderful tool.
Right.
You know,
okay.
Yeah.
I did have a little pushback about this though.
Okay.
Respectfully, I've done some research, and recently I was checking this young lady out. She's a doctor, and she's she's a sexologist.
Okay.
And she was giving some insights, interesting enough, about males having an XY chromosome and determining the gender of the child, right? And it's because we have the XY mothers, women only have the X, right? And so she was, what I took from it anyway, is that she was purporting to say, or she was making a connection in that males do in fact have a feminine nature about them, about us. And this is the pushback, respectfully. I think you said there shouldn't be anything feminine about a man, more or less. I'm proposing that there may be a necessity for us to have a feminine nature or awareness, if nothing else, about ourselves.
Awareness is different.
Okay. Now I'm not trying to change what you
said. No, you're right.
But to imagine this: the yin and yang, right? The black and white, right? And then there's a little circle on each one. The little circle is a piece of the other, right? So there is a majority of the fish, and then a small portion, the eye or whatever, that is its opposite. So this fish has both, one more than the other, but this other fish also has both characteristics, one more than the other. I'm saying, in order to acquire a healthy or a most balanced masculinity, perhaps we may need to, and let me put the question like this: when we hold our newborns, when we hold our nieces and nephews and they fresh babies out, right, and we're holding them, we look like men, right, because that's how we physically look. But to me, we may be tapping into this small circle or feminine nature, and that we are not simply killers, right? We also have a way to go on the other side of the spectrum and be nurturers as well. And I'm giving the extreme example of an infant. The baby's not actually here and put my arms around. But you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So I think there are ways when, even as grown men, when our intimate partner might come to us, and we don't need to be stoic, rigid, masculine, typical masculine. Perhaps there needs to be a different approach that's softer, that's more aligned with her frequency at the time, so that we can bridge the gap.
Correct.
And maybe she can land in a safer place with us.
With her, you
Yes.
gotta.
This is a different example.
We gotta figure out. Yeah, we gotta figure out her feminine energy, how she operates.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're saying you're feminine or you're not. Would you say that there are levels to femininity, or are you saying something else?
Well, this is what I'm saying because of the type of man that I'm in. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm a roughneck. So, yeah, they say that more masculine men go for feminine women, and feminine women go for masculine men. Yeah. But feminine men will go for more masculine women, which makes sense. We will say, we'll say masculine, but I said, you can't really be masculine without testosterone, without,
that juice.
The juice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't mean just the juice. You
right.
got to be born with the things.
Right.
Okay. I think that is portrayed.
Okay.
I feel like that is being portrayed. For instance, just like the mother trying to be the father, you're portraying that's how the father is. You got to do both. You're not really doing both. You're just being an aggressive mother.
Disciplinarian. Oh, okay.
For instance, the mother could scream and shout and woo woo. All the dad say, "Hey!" And that's it. That's true masculinity.
That's a power. That's a tool.
And I wasn't being aggressive.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so maybe doing the same behavior, saying the same thing, without the juice we mentioned a moment ago, isn't the same as masculinity. More or less, right?
Yeah,
okay. It's being portrayed.
Being portrayed, just like the trend that's going on.
Okay.
Everyone's portraying the hip hop being
of the culture
and
from the block, and
that's not.
We'll sniff you out, bro.
and it's the same. There's a difference when the woman, she's just tough. You're just a tough woman out there.
Yeah.
I was raised by a tough woman.
Yeah, respect to
her. But my mom was the first woman that I knew what a woman being feminine was.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
First teacher.
Example. I wouldn't call my mom masculine at all either. Okay.
But single mom and still portray to you, the audience, the femininity. Right. Okay.
Never try to be dad.
Okay.
Nowadays, what I see is that they're trying to be mom and dad, and they want props to be mom and dad. And I think this comes from. A lot of it stems from having babies when you're a baby. And people could be 25, 27, 28 and having them say, "I'm not no baby." You are emotionally.
Yeah. Spiritually. Fresh
spiritually.
Yes.
There's parts in all of us that are immature in ways.
Yeah.
Especially when you have kids young.
Yeah.
You stunt because you stunt your growth.
Yeah.
And you wonder why there's men out here, women out here that are immature.
Yeah. That's interesting. Failure to Launch, I think, was a popular movie that spoke
that it was, yeah.
Is that the phenomenon?
It's basically what it is.
Okay.
I had kids at a young age, and I'm 38, and the past
young cat
4 or 5 years, I'm 38, and my kids I got 20-year-old and a 19-year-old, so you can just do the math on that.
Right. Salute to you for taking care of that too. I know I talk to you and respect your fatherhood all the time, but
I have found now how immature I am in a lot of areas, and I had to grow up from that. But it was because I didn't get a chance to grow.
Gotcha.
Personally.
Yeah. Before you started giving everything you had to everyone else, man. Do you think that's underlying problem and issue for a lot of us out here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I would agree.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. That was a great answer to one of the troublesome expectations.
I'm telling you, I just be freestyling, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I've never been good at following.
You good, bro.
Drawing, coloring in between the lines.
You good, my man.
Crawling, I'm doing it on the desk.
I'm trying to offer some order for the chaos.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good, brother. You good.
I'm the wrong interviewee. You wanted to keep in the lines.
You're good. That's what it's about. We're just here for the community, man. That was one troublesome expectation when dating. Can you offer us another one?
Another one.
Another one.
Want to be with the man, but don't trust the man. Meaning you don't allow him to lead. Every time he says something, there's a problem.
Okay.
And it comes, from the point being of they think that these are boundaries when really they're just four walls and they imprison themselves.
Damn. Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna let that I'm gonna let that breathe.
I had to put my head down. Because I know y'all, we're going to have me out there.
They gonna air you out, bro. It's
put my head down.
They gonna air me out too. Shit, they gonna hate on what we wearing and doing and saying. And it's okay. And they gonna hate on me dropping that too, but I'm gonna leave that in there. Okay, thank you. I guess my last question would be, I'm still configuring how to word this because it's troublesome to me. There's a lot of talk about, I'm gonna offer a little context. There's a lot of talk and discussion about healing, right? We've even discussed it briefly. There's a phrase that's in my head, and it sounds like, and it's it's a question to be asked of others and myself, not just to me. So I'm posing it to you in the audience to discuss for themselves. Are you healing, or are you in fact isolating yourself from your triggers?
That was a good one. That's a good one.
I mean, I know.
You get trauma, it hurts. But to truly heal, that can hurt twice as bad.
Yes, sir.
Because now you're kind of inflicting the pain on yourself because you're opening it back up. That's the only true way to heal.
I agree.
It's the only true way to grow. They say, no pain, no gain. And you truly don't know where you are healed from until someone triggers that. You know what I mean?
And your response is the expression of your growth.
Of your growth.
Not what your mouth says.
Correct.
About what the hypothetical scenario would. Okay.
A woman could have done something to me in the past and scorned me really bad.
Yeah.
Then I get with another woman and I see some things, and the way that I respond to it will show you if I healed from it or not.
Yes.
And it isn't for them to understand, it's for me. It's for me to know if I healed from it or not. And I'm never gonna know unless we do these things called self-reflection.
Man, they're like, what is that? What you talking about, Rance? Self-reflection.
Yeah, taking accountability from someone else is not as bad as when you're constantly taking accountability on your own. I know my flaws.
Yeah.
Now, the way that they come at me, I can understand where their growth is at.
Right.
So now I know how to respond.
So to bring it back, if and when there's a problematic expectation with the lady, and the way that she comes at you, to describe it that way, this will snitch effectively on her growth and where she's at.
It depends,
Because it might just be a moment.
It could be a moment. It could be she just had a bad day and she came at you. So it depends on after the fact. If you don't respond that way, it's on pause.
Mm-hmm.
And you bring it back up later on once you have calmed down or things, and she came back to you and said, acknowledge what she did. I wouldn't say, oh, I'm sorry, babe. But saying you're sorry, that's cool. But I like when you acknowledge
authentically.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know I didn't mean to come off that way. I don't even need to hear I apologize. I'm sorry.
Right. It's so overused, bro.
You know, I don't need to hear that.
That's an easy.
You know.
So you're sorry.
It feels like that.
Yeah. You know. So I think there's a fine line because both need to have grace and understanding.
Yeah.
You know.
Otherwise, there's no respect. You know, the integrity is shot.
Yeah.
You know, fuck her, I'm petty now.
Yeah.
Vengeful. Yeah, I agree.
And then that comes back around.
Yeah.
To character.
Karma. Yeah, and growth.
The character. You really didn't grow if you're gonna be like that.
Exactly.
Like, damn, she was like that. I don't like the way she talked to me. She ain't talking to me like that ever again. And maybe she did say she was having some bad days, you know.
Yeah.
Or this is going on. Or I know women don't like to hear it, but you know, it is that around that time of the month, you know. I understand hormones. Yeah. So I know that, you know.
Most will acknowledge
that happens, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and at that point in time that's when a true man just shows this woman love.
Yeah.
We
need to talk about that, bro.
We'll get to that, but I'm gonna show her love first.
Yeah. First.
You know what I mean?
Foremost.
After I show her love, I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty.
Yep.
Baby, you can't talk to me like that.
Please don't.
Please.
Yeah.
I felt hurt when you talked to me like that. Nah, you don't talk to me like that because X, Y, I'm bop. You know no. That hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt when you know, don't talk to me like that. You know, I don't like the person that pops in my head.
Yeah.
You know,
that wants to respond.
That wants to respond that way, you know?
Yeah. That's true. And do you think most women will respond well to that approach?
No.
How are we to what the fuck? Why not?
At the same time, we're gonna wrap this back around to the men.
Mm-hmm.
Usually these men have a lack of purpose.
Mm. Yes,
See what I mean?
Yeah.
A lack of purpose.
Yeah.
I was raised by one of those men.
Shit.
He knocked everything out the park but that. And when they got bad, that's what he started doing. Okay. Beating on the chest.
Yeah. Would you consider him an alpha or a masculine man?
Alpha.
Okay.
He's the only man that I've ever been scared of. And to this day, I say he's a weak man.
Damn.
He did 15 years in prison. This dude was nothing to mess with. He was scary.
Right.
But to me, he was, as a whole,
flawed.
That was his flaw.
Damn.
Had to think that the man, it was because I told you so, masculine. You know, a man who can't communicate can't lead.
Facts.
However, there'll be women out there, well, this and that, you know. Well, there's some women out there that can't be led.
Facts.
And that's up to the man to know if this woman can't be led, he needs a new woman. And if the woman sees that this man cannot lead, she needs a new man.
True.
That's just how this goes. There's nothing else to slice it and dice it, but the only way to get there is from self-reflection, for your own boundaries, and self-love. This is where this all comes. This is where this all comes back down to.
Every time.
You know?
And knowing yourself.
I loved him on Whoop, you know?
Yeah.
He had potential, but he was under. He might have potential, but there were certain things he should already had for you to look at. He had potential.
Yeah.
Emotions for one. You know what I mean? Like building a career, men take longer to mature in that area.
Yeah.
But if he has all those like emotion, he's emotional intelligent. You know, he's growing.
Right.
The finances are gonna come.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's certain
because of the character.
Because that's potential.
Exactly.
Not potential. He could be a good man. Because my dad was a good man when he was a good man and had good potential. But guess what?
When he wasn't, he wasn't.
And now he's by himself, and he's still self-destructing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You by yourself and you self-destruct, then we got some underlying issues. Don't get me wrong, I learned a whole lot from that man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
However, the home was broken because of that. I know how my mom is. You know, but if you can't learn to understand your woman, to get her out of that place so you can get to a bigger place to to have this conversation to
connect.
grow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's part of leading.
Yes.
That's why I say he was weak.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. There was chaos. There
was
yeah.
He only could lead when there was one road.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. Leadership has to be flexible, right? Adaptable.
And at the same time, it sucks, right? Because women will stay with men, and then men do things and they lose respect for themselves, and women lose respect for them. That now the woman doesn't trust him, right?
Yes.
But we'll go back to where this is what it all came down to was the trust. Is that as the man is choosing the woman, you know what I mean? The woman needs to ask herself, can I trust this man to lead? That is what's the biggest thing.
Bruh.
Lead. Now, what is it to you to lead? You know, some of it has to do with finances. We live in a world where air teachers getting too expensive, so we can't cut that out.
Right.
You know, can he groom himself internally?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Can I see him raising my kids? Vice versa. Can I see her being the mother?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair.
This is why it's good to see these types of green flags.
Yes.
And this is the woman that's going to raise your kids. Now, if y'all split up and she had your kids, would you still want her to raise your kid?
You asking me?
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying in general. Because sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely true.
And there's women out there have the kids, fantastic mothers.
Great mothers, yes.
Some out there, and I'm going to tell you.
And we could tell.
You can tally my name up there. I'm not going to lie. This is why, I was tired of these things, and then I see how hurt my kids are.
Yeah.
And it all stemmed down to that at one point in time, I was this weak man.
Man, I appreciate that accountability out loud. And that's facts, bro. And we've all been there. That's how you know. Because you've been through the other side, though, right? Yeah.
This is another. It was a book, and I thought it was cool. I saw it in the book, but that's how I learned that I was a weak man.
Ain't that some shit, bruh? We could all do better. Yeah, and I'm with that. And that's what we're here to do. So we're just taking some different takes on things, making sure that y'all understand a little different perspective from time to time on things that we all discuss, we all go through, we all thinking about. So. Man, I appreciate you, bro. We gonna continue to smoke.
I appreciate it.
Y'all tune in.
Have a good one.
Peace.
I'm just a junkyard dog. Don't crucify me. Have a good one.